Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Slamhub Wrestling. Myself, Suprit, and this is your AEW Rampage review for December 10th, 2021. And I'm joined by Abby Maniac here. What did you think about this Rampage here from Long Island, New York? Thought it was decent at best. There were some great moments, but overall, it was a decent show for me. What did you think about it?
Um, I thought that it was a good show. If you compare it with you can say the previous editions of the show, which have we have witnessed obviously in the recent weeks, I would say that this one would compare a little better in my opinion. For instance, the first match on the card, and if you would take the debut of Hook and the other stuff which happened on this show, I would say that this show would rank a little higher. And I really enjoyed this show. This obviously would not, rank at such a level which, if we compare them to the likes of the initial Rampage shows, the likes of when CM Punk, debuted, and the Grand Slam show, or something along those lines. But yes, if we compare them to the recent Rampage shows, obviously this, I guess, would compare better.
But at the end of the day, it was still one of those Rampage, shows or episodes. Like, there was actually nothing to care about.
Hmm. I can agree. I can agree.
And
Yes, when I was, going into the show, uh, I didn't had have much expectation, like you were saying. And after the show ended, I had you can say good feeling that yes, this show delivered above my expectations, because as I just said, Rampage hasn't been good as of late. This one, uh, you know expectations low, but execution was better.
we'll talk about the entire card here. But before that, if you're new to Slam of Wrestling, then make sure to like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Check out our other content links provided in the description below. But Rampage kicked off with the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. This is the Lucha Bros defending against FTR. So I think this is their third encounter, or anyways, at the end of the day, the rematch. Like they have been, the last time they faced was at the pay-per-view Full Gear, and also recently at Triple Mania for the AAA tag team titles. And to be honest, going into this match, one thing I realized seeing their previous matches, FTR could bring out great matches from literally anyone. Like this is the team that brought a banger of a tag match from Sting and Darby Allin. So the thing with Lucha Bros is, I think you could bring up the topic about styles clash. You know, I think FTR can't really work that Lucha Libre style of match that the Lucha Bros are notorious for.
Hmm. I hmm, I can understand. I can understand. Yes. Uh, it could be, the reason could be their, stature, their build, and of course their style. As you just said, the styles clash. I'm talking about FTR. Them and not being able to, uh, you know, conforming to the lucha libre style or the sport fest, so to speak. But time to time they have been able to go through that style and deliver when they were in NXT and stuff like that. But they are probably trying to maintain a stature, a character that they would not conform to the lucha libre style. They have a character, they are old school tag team wrestlers, so they would not conform to that style. They want a styles clash to be present in the match so that the audience would boo them, obviously, because they are heels. And audience in today's time and in today's age, they can obviously take sides, that if they like old school wrestling, they would take the side of FTR, and if they like the lucha libre style, the new age wrestling, they would side with lucha bros. And if they just want to enjoy wrestling, they would side with both the guys. So that could be their new mindset. And with regards to what happened at Triple Mania in the ladder match, I really enjoyed the match. Unlike probably many people who didn't, I just scrolled through the social media, but I really enjoyed the match primarily because of FTR's antics in the match. Yes, Vicky Guerrero was ringside with them as an ambassador. It was classic USA versus Mexico, and the antics of FTR, with the crowd and what they did, it was classic heel shenanigans. And they were really enjoying themselves. It was very evident. And obviously, the production was a little, down a notch if you compare it to AEW or WWE. And camera work was a little shoddy, obviously, because they are not very, you can say, uh, used to seeing FTR and Lucha Bros in action. But if you see what was happening in the match and the story being told to us, it was very entertaining and it was very good. I really enjoyed it. And going from Triple Mania to tonight, I really enjoyed today's match. It was really a banger, today's bout.
Yeah, I'll have to agree on that one. Like they don't give you FTR Lucha Bros don't give you a bad match, but it is a good enough match, but not to the level that we expect from a high level tag team like FTR. But this was a really good one match. I think this was one of their better matches, I guess, between FTR and Lucha Bros. And like there were some really great spots, especially from FTR. Like usual story, FTR doing the just grounding the luchadors here. At one point, they are just had Phoenix in the corner, just beating him down, and then we got to the hot tag from Penta, and that's how the match really picked up. Phoenix came back into the match, did his usual Phoenix stuff, out of this world. But there was one of those spots. I think there were actually two spots in this match that I actually liked. One of them being that all four guys were exchanging big moves. So what happened was Phoenix was was going for some he did a flip and going for a cutter on Cash Wheeler, I guess. But Cash Wheeler, he caught him midair and hit a gory bomb.
Hmm.
That was great.
Gory bomb.
Yeah, and I think even Dax Harwood had a spot similar to that. But at the end, can you describe the finish of this match? Like there was a lot of things going on.
Yes, there was actually my favorite spot was, I guess, when the AAA belts got involved at one point. It was especially in the ending moments, and it was that, I guess it was Phoenix. He did. It happened. Belt got hit, and Dax was flat on the mat, and Phoenix got up. He was going for the frog splash, and I thought, oh my god, it is, the match is ending with a frog splash. Okay, you know they are giving an homage to Eddie Guerrero, and it is going down. And as soon as he was up in the air, he was going for the frog splash, and the belt got in. He Dax Harwood hit him with the belt, and I thought, oh my god, what the fuck? you know New champions are getting crowned. But no, that was one of the spots I really popped huge for that. But you know nothing happened. And in the ending, at the end, obviously, a foot stomp package pile driver happened for the victory. And obviously, you know Phoenix went to the outside with the tope con hilo between the ropes. He did that shit in Impact Wrestling, with LAX and with many other teams. Fucking amazing. This match was fucking amazing in my opinion. And crowd also got involved, slowly and steadily. The New York crowd, yes, obviously they were, exhausted. We have talked about that before, that they went from silence to 50-50 or 60-40 between the two teams, and they went to this is awesome, this is awesome. That shows that how talented the two teams are, and how they wanted this rivalry, or you can say this storyline, to end, or you can say to put a pause on that for the time being. And you know, they did a pretty good job in my opinion.
And don't forget, Phoenix got his hands on Tully Blanchard finally, I guess, and he got a shot in. And Taz on commentary said, "You can't lay your hands on a senior citizen," something like that. Typical Taz, he's great. But there you go, Lucha Bros still AEW World Tag Team Champions. I wouldn't have mind actually if FTR got the belts here.
Same here, same here.
But there you go. They really want to build FTR. Sorry, Lucha Bros as credible, AEW Tag Team Champions. Good for them. So yeah, I think this is it. The remember those multi-man, storylines with Cody, Andrade, Malachi, FTR, Lucha Bros. So I think in just a span of 1 week, all those stories have finished. We got our
Hmm.
payoff, or somewhat of a payoff
Hmm.
in Cody's case. But for this Lucha Bros FTR thing, this is done. Now Lucha Bros should go on to new challengers. It's about time. We need fresh new tag team matches, tag title matches. Jurassic Express are being built up to finally take the belts of Lucha Bros whenever that match happens, or you can build another tag team before Jurassic Express, and there you go. But FTR, regarding FTR, we will talk about them in the
Hmm.
there was another segment they were involved in this show. But have you heard about seeing social media and Twitter? FTR have been busy lately, and it's regarding one tag team called the Briscoes. There has been some Twitter beef. Both teams are going back and forth. FTR is kind of throwing down the challenge for the Briscoes to show up, and I think it's about time that happens now that we are done with this program. I would love if the Briscoes show up in AEW. The match between FTR and Briscoes, that would be really great, man.
Yes, I would agree. I would agree. I would not mind. uh, you know, seeing and witnessing that match. Both are incredibly talented tag teams, and you know, seeing them perform in AEW, it would absolutely be a treat. Uh, let's see if it can happen. They are trying to make it happen and trying to hype that up and build that up on social media, as you just pointed out. And if it's in the stars, and if there is enough interest from the crowd, and if it is meant to be, it would absolutely happen on AW television.
We'll have to wait and see. Briscoes currently still with Ring of Honor. This week they are doing final battle, end of an era,
Yes.
possibly the final Ring of Honor show ever. Have you heard about this little news that Tony Khan is, quote unquote, helping Ring of Honor for their final show or whatever it could be?
Yes, I did, and the only thing out in the news that is that Bandido being out of action right now. So the main event was open. So Tony Khan is sending Jay Lethal. So it's going to be Jay Lethal versus Jonathan Gresham in the main event of Ring of Honor final battle. And it is, you can say, appropriate, you know, Jonathan Gresham and, Jay Lethal battling it out once again. So, Jay Lethal has, you can say, he has been the face of the promotion. So, it is very fitting. And, many people were speculating that, or, you can say wishing that many people who have been, of the or who have been alumni of Ring of Honor, they also show up. So if it happens, if we see, the likes of Bryan Danielson, CM Punk on, final battle just for an appearance, it would not be bad. If it happens, it would be great to see. And we do not know what happens in the future for Ring of Honor, if it is an extended period of time sabbatical for the promotion, or if it is the end. But people want the promotion to continue, and let's see what happens.
Hoping for the best, and this is not yet.
Yes.
I think Tony Khan has to do a lot with this certain help that he's talking about.
Hmm. Yes. Uh, you know, us as fans, we expect a lot more, obviously. Nonetheless, anything he does, it would be a good thing. We any person who does a good deed, it is a good thing. Asking for, it is a very shoddy thing to comment on what happened with the NWA women's pay-per-view thing, that they did not give you, the you know whatever you want to call that, the proper shout out or whatever. you know it was a very messy situation, or whatever you want to call that. But it is a good thing. Let's leave it at that. Do not give you know uh, props to the guy and just you know raise him up like a god. It is a good thing, and best wishes to Ring of Honor, and a good thing for Tony Khan.
But moving on with Rampage, we had a six-woman tag with Nyla Rose, the Bunny, and Penelope Ford. They are facing Anna Jay, Conti, and Ruby Soho. This is just a could say preview match for Ruby Soho and Nyla Rose for this for the TBS tournament match. So nothing much here, and the baby faces no, it's not the baby faces. The heel team actually got the win here with some shenanigans thanks to Vicky Guerrero handing some brace knucks to the bunny. She took a shot at Anna Jay. Nyla Rose finished Anna Jay with a power bomb. The Beast Bomb got the win for her team. There you go. And yeah, anything you want to add regarding this match?
Um, no, first of all, this match firstly got booked on Dynamite just on Wednesday. In a backstage interaction, Ruby Soho, as you just said, is ready to face Nyla Rose in the semi-finals. Uh, I would like to say that Excalibur's explanation gave, you can say, some sense to what happened in the backstage interaction. That the bounty on Ruby Soho by Nyla Rose, that was the explanation basically. And But I would like to say the interaction on Dynamite was weak, in my opinion. And basically, Ty Conti and Anna Jay didn't look like they were about to or they were thinking to hit the heels, in my opinion, with the chair. They just appeared with the chair, and in my opinion, it did not look like they were about to hit them or they had any intention to. You know, there was no or little sense of urgency, and the realness or the emotion, I guess, was missing in the interaction. No, you have to sell that. That is what I am saying. If there is no emotion on your face, so how does it make you invested as a fan or as a viewer, whatever? How does it make you invested? That are the ladies in question, i.e. Taya Conti and Anna Jay, are they even angry? Did they want to hit them? Where is the emotion? We want to see them as real people. you know we do not want them just you know with the chair and just going there and no emotion. People talk shit about Johnny Gargano with being no emotions shit, only in the ring shit. Yes, please.
Do you mean Johnny same
You
face?
yes, obviously.
Ah,
But
that's just corny being corny. We in this section love Johnny Gargano.
us homies love Johnny Gargano. Okay.
Yeah.
But the thing is that you got to make them invested. That was the only thing. And as you just said, the match was there, decent, decent match. You just the main focus was hype up the match, the semi-final match. Nyla Rose, Ruby Soho, and the heel team got the victory. Why? Because uh, you got to, you can say, make the person who is going to take the pinfall in the semi-finals look strong, i.e. Nyla Rose, and make her look a little bit of a threat to Ruby Soho, because Ruby Soho has been featured on television a lot, and she is, you can say, mm, a top featured star in the women's division. So Nyla Rose, getting her a victory makes her, something in the eyes of the fans, basically. So you got her a victory, and now looking forward to the semi-finals. But am more looking forward to Shida versus Serena Deeb at Winter is coming. To be very honest, to be fucking very honest, when I saw the promo on Dynamite, I was fucking ecstatic. That fuck, I am very much looking forward to this match. Serena Deeb is salute to her. Seriously, veteran in the game. Other ladies should, take notes from her if they are not already. Seriously. And the other semi-final in the TBS tournament is Jade versus Thunder Rosa, and we have talked about her in the last review. Jade would probably win. And lastly, regarding this match, what happened? There was one more complaint that was regarding Anna Jay. In the ending moments, post match, that was that the selling from Anna Jay, she got decked with the brass knucks or the knuckle duster, whatever you want to call that. She got beast bombed or liger bombed, whatever you want to call that. Okay. She got pinned. Okay. But afterwards, when the cameras got away, she was standing on her 2 feet with Taya Conti. There was no selling. She got beast bomb. She got decked with the brass knucks. She should have been on the mat. That is what I am saying. That is, yes, I know that I am complaining, but it is the little nuances. If you do not agree with what happened, please say it. Please. Both the things happened.
I actually didn't notice this fact with the no selling part because that was my vibe for this match. But in a way, I would agree that it is the small things. There are certain guys and even girls that put attention to the small details, but in some cases, people decide to kind of skip that small parts. But you gave your prediction regarding the Jade Cargill and Thunder Rosa match. So let's hear your prediction for Ruby Soho and Nyla Rose.
I guess it is gonna be Ruby Soho. If you had given the prediction, and we had talked about it, I guess, when the brackets got a little, you know, when they got announced, or I guess a few weeks into, we had discussed about it at length. So I guess we got to Jade versus Ruby Soho or Thunder Rosa versus Ruby Soho. So I guess it's gonna be Jade versus Ruby Soho, I suppose.
And let's
Heel
see where
versus babyface.
they go from there. But let's talk about this backstage interview, this special interview with Sting and Darby Allin, conducted by Shivani. So I think they were addressing the fact that in 2 weeks or so after winter is coming, they are going to do their holiday bash AEW for the Dynamite, and Sting will be there, Darby Allin will be there. I think it's going to happen in the Greensboro Coliseum.
Yes.
So I think there is history with that venue with regarding Sting, where he won his first world championship. I think it's against Ric Flair in some Clash of the Champions all that years ago, if I'm not wrong.
He didn't win. He had his, I guess, it was his first opportunity for the world championship. It was March 27th, 1988, and it was a time limit draw. They had three judges there, and I went to Google and read what happened. There were three judges, time limit draw, and they went to the judges. There was one judge who was a woman. She went with Ric Flair because, probably as per storyline, Ric Flair was doing the stuff with her, and the other guy, I guess Gary Juster, he went with Sting, and the third judge, he went with the draw.
Who's the third judge?
So I guess there was no mention of him. So the guy who wrote that, he said that, why did you have the judges if you were going with the time limit draw? So, but it is the stakes, in my opinion, that is what that made it all. In JCP, Jim Crockett Promotions, it was the match Flair versus Sting, as you just said, for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, Clash of the Champions. You said it absolutely right, and it was a draw.
So they're talking about this certain history with Sting, but suddenly they are jumped by FTR. They go after Sting. Darby Allin is taken out in a corner. They tried to low blow Sting here, but Darby Allin tried its best to save Sting here, but he gets taken out as well. I think he got sent into the garage door, and they finally low blowed Sting, left the two baby faces laying. So I think Terry Blanchard said something like another round, maybe another match. So what are we getting here? Another rematch between these two from what we saw at
Hmm.
the Arthur Ashe show?
Yes, I believe so. And you know, Darby and Sting, as you just said, it happened at Arthur Ashe, and Darby and Sting won basically via submission. So at the end, in the ending moments of the bout, Sting got a hand on Tully Blanchard. So you can say that Tully Blanchard, kicking Sting in the balls, it was a revenge, so to speak, for what happened then. And other than that, right now, as of this point, FTR is done for the time being with Lucha Bros. So as you just said, FTR versus Sting and Darby Allin could very well happen in the Holiday Bash Dynamite. And I guess I heard it on one of the podcasts from Tony Khan that the Holiday Bash Rampage would be happening on a Saturday rather than Friday, because that falls on Christmas Day. So it would be a special Saturday night Rampage. So
Interesting. But
let- let's see.
I don't know. You won't mind a rematch. I think just to keep everyone in this situation busy. So,
Yes.
um, so basically, you're telling me that they will do this after 2 weeks.
December 22nd in Greensboro Coliseum, Holiday Bash. And it was basically, I guess, giving Sting good match, and obviously with the history, and obviously uh, you know FTR are basically what, they're heels, and heels, or you can say villains or antagonists, do not like losing. So you do not want to, you cannot give them a reason to attack the baby faces, so to speak. They are just they're attacking them because they are fucking bad losers. That's basically the reason. And I would like to, obviously, them to do a promo either backstage or in the ring, explaining why they did it, so as to build the story or the rivalry so that people are more invested in it. That's all we want, and we want people to be invested and want to watch this match at the Holiday Bash in Greensboro.
But speaking about invested, next up, this is the moment we all been waiting for. Like, this is something we could be saying to our grandkids one day. That we got to see. We got to see the biggest debut in the history of our sports. This is regarding Hook, the Crook. So he's facing Fuego del Sol. So we had Taz on commentary, his dad. That is a great moment that he gets to call, his son's debut match in AEW, and this was a short enough match. And Hook, the hype was real, man. The hype was real. This guy looked insane. Like he's just tossing what Fuego del Sol like a rag doll. Like they even mentioned that he has a judo background. We saw this throughout the match, and the first, like from the entrance, he got a huge reaction. I think he came out to a special theme song. I think I have it somewhere. This is called. This is from Action Bronson. The song name is Chairman's Intent. So there you go, another Tony Khan, buying rights for a big song, making one of his performers feel special. And we saw the case with Hook here, got a huge reaction. Crowd is into it. I think this is the loudest I heard for this Rampage taping, for this certain episode. The crowd was full pro Hook here. And what did you think about his performance, man? I think this guy is going to be a big deal.
I would agree. I would agree. He looked solid. He had the look, the combat gear, MMA, shorts and everything, and all business. He was in character. He didn't break, emotion. You can say he was all business, and he won the bout via submission with his dad's submission, the Taz mission. So that was a good, nod to his dad. Amazing, you can say he looked, you can say slick. We cannot obviously, judge his, performance as to how he would, do in complex situations when he goes against the likes of other competitors, obviously at this point. But what happened in this match was obviously, basic, but absolutely, what we saw, he delivered and he looked amazing doing it. And, obviously, ladies would love him. He had the look, ladies loved him. Guys, and obviously the people who who do not identify as neither, they would love him. Absolutely. Fucking amazing debut. And as you just said, the investment in the theme song also gives you an impression as to how the promoter is seeing the guy, that he probably is going to invest in him being Hook, and potentially uh, make him a huge star, or he would be a huge deal in the company in the foreseeable or distant future. So we can expect huge things from the guy in the distant future, but what we saw here, flawless.
There you go. We have yet another fifth pillar of AEW.
Potentially, yes.
And if you're not part of the Hook Nation, then guys, what are you doing? Just get on the hype train. Come on. There you go. Hook got his won his debut match here with the Taz mission or the Hook mission, whatever you want to call it, and should be good, man. Whatever he does next, and now I think Hook will give legitimacy to Team Taz.
Yes, absolutely.
But there you go. That was a really good short enough match. But let's talk about the main event. Or we missing something?
Hmm. Main event time.
So it was Adam Cole, baby, facing Wheeler Yuta of the Best Friends. Mark Henry did the interview. We had Adam Cole represented by the Super Click and Bobby Fish. Wheeler Yuta being represented by Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends. Trent is back, or what I called him on the Dynamite review, the Blade, for some reason. So they're doing this interview bit, talking trash to each other. Mark Henry, did the it's time for the main event bit. I love it every time he does it. It's actually picking up. Crowd, love it when he says that. But let's talk about this match. Wheeler, Adam Cole versus Wheeler Yuta. It was they were doing some good wrestling here, but the problem was I was finding it difficult to get invested in it. And I love Adam Cole's, and every time he shows up on TV, but still, man, it was hard for me to get invested with Wheeler Yuta, So, what was your opinion on this match, or did you feel any same opinion?
I would agree with you. I would agree with you. Absolutely. I if I would say that in terms of match quality, if I would, take the scale of match quality, I would have much rather have had the AEW World Tag Team Championship as the main event rather than this match. But, you know, yes.
But you have to remember the theme for Rampage. They kick off
Hmm.
their legit main event is the opener. If you
Hmm.
want further proof,
Hmm.
their first Rampage episode was the world title match, the Impact World title match between Kenny Omega and Christian Cage. And
Christian Cage.
if you compare it to the women's title match, that was the bigger match, the world title match. So every Rampages have been like that. They open with something big, which is actually their main event. And their low key
Hmm.
mid card type match is what they put it in the final or the main event,
Hmm.
whatever you call it. So that's the theme of
Hmm.
Rampage.
All right. I can take that. Hmm. The you were talking about the lack of investment with regards to this bout. I would absolutely agree. Adam Cole got a bigger babyface reaction than the babyface in the match, that is Wheeler Yuta. Yes, obviously, that is agreed, and it is pretty pre-established, but it sets a big question mark on the babyface
No,
in
no, 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 no. We got a
the
big question
match.
mark for Trent.
Yes, there also, obviously. And, I guess the whole focus with regards to this match was to build the match with Adam Cole and Orange Cassidy, which was the overall theme in this match. And Cole and Orange Cassidy made it pretty apparent that that is the goal and that is where we are heading. And yes, there are many other things that many other stories which are underlying there, that Undisputed Era versus the Elite, and Orange Cassidy versus Cole. We have seen that, obviously. I just said that. And Chaos versus Bullet Club or the Super Elite is also there in the midst, I suppose, because
Really?
we saw. Yes, please. You
The Bullet Club thing, I think we are done with that deal, I guess.
Yes, no, I'm saying the previous rendition of the Bullet Club. Now it is Super Elite. Then it was Bullet Club. Now it is Super Elite. Uh, because we saw Don Callis last week. You ran to through that Don. We saw Don Callis last week on camera during the Young Bucks and Adam Cole backstage interview. And he was uh, talking to someone on his cell phone. No, we saw him brush through on the camera. So he may be talking to some people. We can assume that where this story might be heading. So if we are going to fantasy book, or we are going to just assume that where is this heading, so we can say that maybe he was talking to probably Kenny Omega. He might be talking to the Good Brothers, that is Carl Anderson and Dog Gallows. And I know that the Impact Wrestling AEW partnership is not existing anymore, but still there can be some deal here and there if there is an exchange of some stuff here and there if it is needed. So it can happen if they are trying to get through a story which involves chaos versus super elite or Bullet Club, whatever you want to call that. Previous rendition of the Bullet Club, super elite. And you know there is also this thing, I guess. Kazuchika Okada is still in the United States, I suppose. So, can we see Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada on AEW? If Kenny Omega recovers in time, is there a possibility? Because if that is the goal of all of this that is happening,
Uh, to
I
my
I
knowledge,
don't.
to my knowledge, I don't know the details. I can guarantee Okada has gone back to Japan.
He is back.
He has to be
Mm-hmm.
because of the news and rumors, and that certain variant is coming around. You don't have to risk travel ban again.
Mm. So you were saying that AW didn't even use the guy when he was here.
They could have,
Uh,
but they
yeah,
didn't
they
know
should have.
the changes going on in the world right
Hmm.
now again.
Yes, perfectly,
So, and the
perfectly
thing with
agree.
Okada is he could have stayed. He could have stayed for the next 3 months. Tony Khan could have paid him extra money to work AEW shows. But he has
Hmm.
commitment on January 4th, 5th, and I believe the 6th also. That's a big deal, this upcoming
Hmm.
Wrestle Kingdom.
Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
a very big
Mm-hmm.
deal compared to a
Mm-hmm.
random appearance on a Dynamite at this point. So, top priorities, he has to finish those dates, and then you could see if he could come back to the States, work New Japan strong, and finally
Hmm.
come to AEW.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right. Okay. So whatever this can uh, fruit, that would be a pretty long stretch thing if we are going to fantasy book, or if they are going to book sometime in the distant future Omega versus Okada. That would be a long stretch thing, and then Omega also would be pretty healed up from his surgeries and everything. Okay.
There is a lot of time for a Omega Okada match.
Hmm. There is a lot of time, but we have seen planting seeds and stuff like that. So could very well be, or they are planning something completely else. Seeing Don Callis and winter is coming next week. What
For
can happen, what cannot happen, we do not know at this point.
for now, I think this is going to be a short program, and
Hmm.
we don't know what's going to be the scene in January. Who's coming to this company? Are we seeing any new debuts? What's happening with the Super Click? Will Adam Cole bring in the version of Undisputed Era in AEW? A lot of questions. So, to get to that point, I think this is a short program that they have inserted in, and you could get in some matches and you could pay it off, and you can move to the next story, maybe the big implosion or a big debut. Like the scenario is a there could be a little more scenarios. Like this is a very unpredictable situation. They could do anything at this point.
Hmm. Hmm. All right.
But
Agreed.
regarding this match,
And yes,
anything you want to
yes,
add
please.
regarding Wheeler, Yuta, and Adam Cole?
Uh, just uh, only thing was that they focused. The main focus regarding this match was to build and to hype Cole versus Cassidy, and I guess they did a pretty good job at that. Other than that, as you just said, when we started discussing this match in particular, the investment from the crowd was and from us also was pretty low because of the investment, or you can say the whatever you want to call, the investment with regards to Wheeler Utah. Uh, we aren't invested yet in his character, and right now we do not know that what is going to happen with regards to the guy. We only see the guy as a, you know, uh, he is a good wrestler. He's athletic. That's it. There's nothing else that we know of the guy. And yes, he took the place of, uh, you know,
Trent.
Trent. Yes, nothing else. And probably I heard or I misheard Trent in the pre-match promo. I guess he was saying that this interview should be about me when they started talking about Wheeler Utah or something like that. Probably
Maybe,
I misheard.
yeah,
So,
you heard it right. Maybe a typical best friend shtick when it comes to promos.
or probably they are trying to build a story in between the faction. Uh, Something can happen. You know, let's see what happens
But
in midst of the faction of chaos of best friends. Let's
here,
see.
Adam Cole was the one got getting the victory. Hit the boom on Wheeler Utah. There was a post-match beatdown on the baby faces. Adam Cole was going for, I think he planned to go for a Panama Sunrise on Orange Cassidy, but instead hit the Panama low blow on Mr. Cassidy here, and hit a BTE trigger actually on Trent, and they brought up him returning recently after having going through spinal stenosis, and he also had a surgery regarding that. So yeah, a faction versus faction feud for a while. I don't mind it. I said it in the Dynamite review. It is a very, you could say, a bit of an upgrade compared to what the best friends were doing with Matt Hardy and his faction. So them feuding with the Elite slash Super Click, it is good enough in my opinion.
Hmm. I can, yes, I would agree. But yes, of course, getting the fans invested is the thing, basically. The little, story to it, but yes, you are having, matches, and, there is their style of, telling stories. There, I mean, the Young Bucks, so they can do, their shit. We can bitch and moan and complain about their, style, but the fact is, okay, you do your. But the only thing is, the people should be invested in that, so as to, make it compelling and make us, invested enough to watch your matches, or else there is fucking nothing. In this match, Cole and Orange Cassidy, I would give them props as to the fact that they did a pretty good job with regards to getting fans invested in watching them collide in the future whenever they are going to have the match, I guess in 2 weeks or whatever. So
We'll have to
there's
wait.
that.
We'll have to wait and see. But that was Rampage, man. And anything else you want to add? Because winter is coming next week. Any expectations? I asked the same question to Ridwan, and I'm asking the same question to you. Any expectations for the big show next week?
Mm, you know, I at this point, you know, just as I said, I am looking very much forward to the women's match with uh, Shida and Serena Deeb, and this match for the World Championship. Uh, it is very at this point. I do not see Hangman Page losing, but the fact is that how would you get Bryan Danielson to lose? That is because his character is so fucking solid that it is very difficult, So it would be a sight to see. I am looking forward to see a fucking solid match between the two guys. Bryan Danielson would uh, bring out one of the best versions of Hangman Page on Winter is Coming, and let's see what happens. I want to see something unexpected, but let's see. And I expect probably Dante Martin can win the ring.
But does he need it?
Ah, does he need it? I guess uh, not, but if you are building the guy for the future at this point, and MJF has had the ring for 2 years, so you can give him the ring at this point. So there you go. And MJF is involved right now with CM Punk, so CM Punk can pull some shit to get MJF lose the ring, so as to get him pissed more and stretch that and build more emotion, build more heat between the two being CM Punk and MJF. So let's see.
Can we on that
Looking
note? Can
forward
we
to
do
it.
On that note, can we do AEW every week in Long Island? Just to hear MJF's reaction, man.
Yes.
That was special, by the way. I went out of my way, checked it on YouTube again. That was special.
Agreed. And seeing CM Punk in full, heel mode, that was, a sight to see as well. It has been years.
And we'll talk
He
about.
can do it.
We'll talk about more of Winter is Coming when we get to the show and review that. But any debuts for you? Are you expecting any debut?
In a debut, as of this point, I guess I can only see Bray Wyatt. I do not see anyone else at this point. I know, Kyle O'Reilly is a free agent at this point, and he can debut if he wants, but I don't see him on Winter is Coming. You can, have the stuff when you want. You can have that on the Holiday Bash show, but Bray Wyatt you can have, I suppose. Let's see.
Looks like it's going to be a really good show. But on that note, where can these guys find you?
Guys, you can connect with me on Twitter and Instagram at AbbyManiac, and you can also connect with me on Facebook and LinkedIn as well.
And you can find Slamhub Wrestling on Twitter at SlamhubW, Instagram at Slamhub Wrestling. You can catch this review on Anchor and Spotify as well. This was the AEW Rampage review, and I'll see you guys next time.